Hey, welcome to the video. I go by Manta, and today we're going to be playing some Megabonk. I'm going to be showing you super cool strategy with Vlad. Now Vlad gets lifesteal every single level, 1% increases. And for this, his starting weapon, he starts with Blood Magic, which has a 5% chance to increase your health by 1. Okay, so HP regen is really good. We want to get at least a couple HP regens for the final boss, specifically for the forest and even for desert. The final boss is phases where you can't use lifesteal, and health regen will particularly help with that. You also want to increase your projectile counts, but we will be using the projectile count tome. And for this strategy, if you get, I think it's called the Bloody Cleaver, it is very beneficial, specifically for this character, because every single time you use lifesteal, it increases blood mark on the enemies. So we will be going as well with the lifesteal tome. Also here we do get the Aegis, so with the Aegis you want to try to make that your second weapon for the final boss fight. The second weapon that you receive will be the second one that you unlock after the first phase. Here we got 1.2 projectile count. That's really good from the shrines. But basically the boss takes away all your weapons except for your starter weapon. So you want to level up the starter weapon, which is the Blood Magic for the Vlad, as much as you can. And for the second weapon, since the Aegis just gives you more chances of surviving, it'll definitely help out the boss fights by quite a bit. But particularly, I don't level up the Aegis as much as I would level up the actual weapons. Particularly because we're going to be utilizing the cooldown tome and the quantity tome. So the Aegis really gets kind of overpowered when you use the cooldown tome and the quantity tome, especially since we're getting even more cooldown and quantity from the different shrines. With the quantities and cooldowns for the Aegis, you really don't need to focus much on damage. Knockback is sometimes nice. We got our third weapon here, which is the Dexecutioner. The Dexecutioner we get because there's a thing called the Joe's Dagger, which most recently was nerfed a little bit. Not a little bit, quite a lot before it used to be the absolute meta. It is still really good. So we got the quantity tome there. Luck tome is also something that we're going for in this strategy. So with the Joe's Dagger, every single time you get an execution, also luck and crit chance are both really good. Luck is very good, but we also will be utilizing the luck tome. So with the Joe's Dagger, you have a chance on every single execution to increase your damage percentage. So by pretty much utilizing the Dexecutioner, you guarantee more damage if you get the cleaver, or not the cleaver, I'm sorry, the Joe's Dagger. And if you increase your lifesteal, particularly with this character, it's obviously the 1% increase per level up. And since we're utilizing the lifesteal tome and trying to get lifesteal from the actual shrines, that item, the cleaver, I think it's called the Bloody Cleaver, will specifically work extremely well. More projectile count here. Movement speed is also really good, especially for clearing the different shrines around the starting area. If you haven't seen my tutorial for the movement speed, check it out on the channel. You will most likely notice that I move faster than default. Like here's the default speed. I'm only moving kind of slow here. You're just at the default speed because I have to take care of the stone golem and the different, grab the different chests. Okay, we got moldy cheese. Moldy cheese is really nice for the final boss fight. Anything that applies blood mark as well, so see here, we're actually moving quite a bit faster, not just because of the regular jumps, but also because of the different movement. But yeah, it's a really short video you can find on the channel. It's, I believe, titled How to Move Faster Than Default. Okay, so we traded the ring there for the clover. The clover increases luck by 7.5%, and then we're getting another cheese there, but it took the clover back. Yeah, we tried to get the clover again. We got a quantity increase there. The new clover pretty much took away the cheese, so we really didn't get much out of this. That was kind of I was hoping it would take anything but those two, but it didn't really work too well. I think we ended up with an additional clover at the end there, but not too much else. We kind of had just the items remove themselves. So these rockets help a lot, and if you get 2 additional jumps, it'll also be very beneficial to you. You want to at this point have the Aegis, the Dexecutioner, and the quantity tomes unlocked by the 6-minute mark. The swarm that comes there will definitely help you quite a bit. And you want to try to fill out your tomes and weapons as quickly as possible. We will be taking all the difficulty adjustments as well around the map. There we got the bloody tome for the lifesteal. Okay, additional XP gains are also really nice. Because we're not utilizing the XP gain tome, the strategy, which has been nerfed a little bit, by the way, in the latest patch. Those keys that we got from that chest, here we get luck and lifesteal. Both are very good. Luck in the beginning, the sooner you get it, the better stuff you get. And I believe all the stores, all the guys that sell stuff around the map are predetermined at the start of the level. So you particularly want to have increased luck whenever you start a new tier. Another key there was good, but we actually chose the XP shard. The XP shards are really good for additional XP, especially since we're not using the XP tome. Okay, so here's the boss area. You want to make sure you find that by going around. I pretty much go around the perimeter of the map and then go inwards. And by the time you get to the perimeter, there we go, we actually filled out all the tomes and the weapons now, so we'll only have upgrades specifically to things that we need now. Extra jump and XP gain were really good there. Because I was saying, you go around the perimeter, you'll typically find the boss portal by the time you're done going around the perimeter, and then collect all the shrines and tomes there as best as you can, and go inwards towards the center. By that time you should have maybe double jump and any sort of movement speed. The feathers are nice to get with this build. The feathers do cause you nice. We got an epic cooldown tome to increase there. It's really nice. And then whenever we get greens, I most likely focus on the Aegis. But the feather is nice, as I was saying, for like jumping higher and stuff, but it will cause, like if you have an enemy that causes a lot of knockback, like say the final swarm ghosts, it will cause you to kind of get bounced back quite a bit more than normal. It could pretty much send you across the map if they're coming at you quick enough. So for some characters and some strategies, it's not recommended to get the feathers, but with this character and strategy particularly, I really don't mind. We got a magnet drop there, and this swarm you might have a little bit of difficulty with if you don't have enough projectiles and cooldown and jumps. You want to have at least 2 jumps by this point. You want to eliminate as many of these guys as you can before the next boss wave, which is at 2 minutes. will happen. I'm gonna kind of gauge your damage. And if you're able to build up your what is it, power up item drop chance, usually it's a 5% upgrade at the start for the greens, unless you get a wrench. But grab one of those if you're able to. If there's nothing better, you'll typically get some good drops out of the enemies that spawn. And with these hordes, try to kind of get rid of them by the boss spawner portal. Sometimes you may actually start the boss spawner a little bit too late for your liking, and any power-ups that you kind of save from the hordes here, the swarms, can be really beneficial towards taking care of the final boss there. So we got a nuke drop on us. You can see the speed that we're taking care of these chunkums here. It's really not the fastest, actually. I would like a little bit quicker increased damage, particularly, so we just focus on attack speed, quantity, damage. Luck is really good. Take the higher rarity on things mostly. If it's mostly green and no quantity increases, or for Dexecutioner size increases, damage, I guess. I'll typically just go with the Aegis upgrades. The Aegis I consider kind of like a skip upgrade. Knockback is nice for him, but quantity as well is good. So if everything's green and you get a quantity for the Aegis, it's not a bad one to take. But sometimes you might need to focus on luck and attack speed. Depending on how your run goes, on the luck of getting the Bloody Cleaver, Joe's Dagger, etc. The Sucky Magnet, you might not even level up the tomes all the way. They have 99 levels each, so taking a couple green upgrades towards those, even at the start, it's not a bad idea. I would mainly focus on leveling up the Blood Magic. Take the highest rarity you can get between the Blood Magic and the Dexecutioner, but mainly try to focus on the Blood Magic because it's your main weapon during the boss fight. It's what you're going to be utilizing the most, because all the other weapons get taken away, and on the first stage you pretty much only have Blood Magic. So the higher level you have it, the better. And then second stage you have pretty much Blood Magic and Aegis. So Blood Magic is still going to be your best weapon to use. So the more levels you get on that, the quicker you're going to be able to take care of that final boss, which is likely the most difficult part of this actual build, because utilizing the Aegis with this character, nice, we got the wrench there, super nice for the next stage. It'll be great to get another beacon, or get a beacon in general. Okay, sweet, so we got a beacon there from that chest. That's really good for the next stage because we get 2 additional shrines. We do have a magnet here, so we'll stay down here for a little bit longer. Just try to harvest these kind of enemies. Our Blood Magic, you can see, is doing really good, and the reason you want to stay here as long as possible is not only for the XP, but because the Blood Magic, more enemies you eliminate with it, the more additional health points you get. For that 5% every single time you eliminate an enemy, you get an additional health point. So at around like 40 seconds, I would start moving towards the boss portal for the next stage. Just hug the wall. They'll start kind of spawning those elites a lot more at 50 seconds, and at 60 seconds you might start getting bounced around. Collect as much XP as you can and stay for as long as possible. I have the feathers as well, so it's really kind of risky staying after 60 minutes, because once you get sent flying away from the portal, it's very unlikely that you'll make it back. So just collect all the XP you can as soon as you see kind of your Aegis wearing down and you getting pushed around. Just teleport as soon as you can, hover your finger over the E button or whatever it is on controller if you're playing with that. Okay, Okay, so we eliminate both here we activate the boss curse shrine and the difficulty adjustment there. We gotta level up here. We'll take the Dexecutioner. Level up. You can see it's kind of a little bit difficult still to eliminate those elites. So we do have to increase our either elite damage, regular damage quantity, or attack speed. Anything to help out, because once that swarm comes. Okay, we got crit chance increase. Crit chance is really good. Once that swarm comes, there's going to be a lot of elites that spawn in, especially for that swarm, and you might get overwhelmed quite a bit. 1.5 projectile count increases are really good as well. Damage to elites here is really nice. Also, crit damage is good. Evasion is also good. Difficulty adjustments, you could potentially wait, depending on how strong your build is, to collect those. So 15% increased damage, also very welcome. I'm hoping to get some golds from some of the NPC salesmen here. So if we get any sort of golds, that would be really good. Lifesteal is really good. Pickup range is also amazing, since we don't have sucky magnets. Nice, we got the Joe's Dagger, so 1% chance to execute an enemy, and I think it's 1% chance from every execution to increase damage, which is extremely good. We got another key here, so we're up to 3 keys now. You can see that we're not opening chests yet. Our chest will only cost 30. What I pretty much mainly try to do is collect as many keys as possible. And a nice 1.5% projectile count is also great. Is try to save up as much money as possible. Keep the chest as cheap as possible. Collect all the bases around the map for additional gold. Gold increases over time. Specifically also help out. Pickup range and XP gain are really good here. Pickup range I'll do typically if there's nothing better. But yeah, try to pretty much microwave the keys from the different microwaves if you do find those around the map, just to increase the amount of chests you can get for the amount of gold. And with the increased luck that you get from the different shrines and the tome level ups from the luck tome, you'll start pulling a lot better items from the chests. So we got an increased evasion there. We got 2 stone golem spawns. Sorry, tongue got twisted there. We found the boss shrine here. It's a little bit more centered. We're not going to focus on the stone golems yet, because I don't believe we're doing enough damage to actually take care of them super fast. And since we got blood magic, while they follow us, we'll definitely be able to inflict passive damage. Nice, we got another beacon, so 2 additional shrines for the next stage. It's really good. Okay, I do need to increase my damage. Additional jump is really good there, but shield is also super beneficial. You do want to build up some shield for the final boss fight. Depending on how much health you have, sometimes you might have like 200 health, depending on the items as well you get from the chest. Some of the items will decrease your health for increased damage. That can be kind of detrimental. Things like slurp gloves, etc. When the boss is invulnerable, you pretty much can't do any lifesteal abilities. Those gloves are really nice for if we do receive the bloody cleaver. Yeah, so it doesn't look like I'll be able to get this. Sometimes you're able to actually stand on top of the shrines during the swarms if you're doing enough damage, but they have to be kind of on a flat surface. And the stone golems will not launch AoE attacks up into the air like the chunkums. You will only place them on the ground pretty much. Okay, so we'll take care of the swarm here. You want to make sure you're prepared for this swarm specifically. Have enough damage and enough projectile count and attack speed, but you can see there that's what I was talking about, but AoE damage from the stone golems not being able to reach you on a flat surface when you're getting a shrine on a kind of tilted surface like the one that we're approaching right now. It typically won't work unless you're really on the edge of it. see how much enemies we're actually able to eliminate. And the closer we stay to them, the more we're able to utilize the Dexecutioner. And the more we utilize the Dexecutioner, the more the Joe's Dagger will work. Okay, more projectile count. Size for Dexecutioner is okay. Well, I would like more increased size since we're not utilizing the size tome. The higher the size for that, pretty much the more damage we're able to do. Okay, so that rage power up drop there is really nice. So we're able to actually take care of this boss finally. Grab the other chests around the map. You can see 3 jumps are super nice. For getting around this map, we'll pretty much be able to vault minimum 2 levels of floors here. Having three jumps with increased jump height and the feather item will definitely speed up your traversal around the map here. We got a gold hat. Joe's Dagger and Sucky Magnet are super good. Sucky Magnet will particularly help us level up more, and an additional Joe's Dagger will just increase our damage pretty much at double the rate. They are capped to how much they can increase your damage per floor. And since we're not utilizing our Dexecutioner as much as we should be because of the size of it, since our blood magic is doing a lot of the work for us, power up drop chance is great, but it doesn't really help with the final boss there. But yeah, so Sucky Magnet would be great. I'm sure we got a couple more magnets around the map. We got HP regen. Shields are good as well. Typically, if your shield runs down, you want more HP regen, so that you can wait for your shield to come back up. And the HP regen works per minute. We chose crit damage there. Gold gain's a little bit late into the stages. Typically, gold gain would be nice for like stage 1 early on. Just to increase the amount of chests that you can get towards the end. I forgot my original thought there. Okay, so since it's all green, it's either Aegis or anything for size. Any sort of tome upgrades on green are also okay. But we do have 2 Joe's Daggers, so I'm fairly confident with how strong this build is going to get. We want to utilize the Joe's Dagger as much as possible, and we're about to have this boss, the swarms come in, and then the bosses afterwards, so just try to, if you do get the Joe's Dagger, try to do as much damage as you can with the Dexecutioner, just for the increased damage chances, or damage quantity. Here right now we're at 4.4 times the damage. We definitely want to increase that, because you can see we're actually not killing all these enemies in one hit. Got a red cooldown upgrade there as well. Super nice. So now our damage is at 5.0. You can see it's actually building super quick. 5.2 right now. So we are getting a lot of executions that are causing a lot of our damage to go up. And you can see it's pretty much one hit now to eliminate the enemies. We want to get our cooldown to around 300% and quantity up quite a bit more, so that the Dexecutioner continuously fires. You can see there's like little breaks between the firing. We want it up even higher, probably about 500, 600% for cooldown, and almost even double the quantity for the blood magic to continuously hit. Most likely even a little bit higher than 600% for cooldown. Nice and increased luck, so we're going to start opening chests up slowly. Unfortunately, we still only have 3 keys. More than 3 keys would be nice, but we kind of want to increase our damage a little bit more. You can see how the Chunkum is not taking as much damage as we'd like. cheese. So I'm kind of, at this point, I'm kind of a little bit worried for the final boss fight, since we got a minute 30. And it took us around, I'd say like 20 seconds to eliminate that chunkum. That's one of them, and we're gonna have 2 total bosses at about 4 times the health. So if we're not able to hit both the bosses at once or increase our damage, each boss should take around a minute to eliminate. Plus we still have a whole nother chunkum to get, so we do need a power up drop and some level ups. I mean, now since we're utilizing the Aegis, this boss fight particularly isn't hard. We just want to get rid of them before the final swarm starts. Since we do have passive damage from the cheese, the moldy cheese, does quite a help out. So just increase our DPS just a little bit more. Okay, we got blood magic or life drain or lifesteal, which is really nice, and I think it explodes potentially. So we got 2 of those gloves now actually, which is really good. Kind of, since I believe we do have the, I guess not, so we don't have anything that actually increases our damage when we're jumping here in the air. Okay, we're finally eliminating the chunkum in one of the Chad barks. Grab the chest, since we only got around 10 seconds. Additional XP and crit chance, I believe that was. So now we have to really stand near the chunkum here to ensure that all our damage is focused towards him instead of the final swarm ghosts. We just really kind of need to eliminate him. I'm not too worried because we have around 40 more seconds in the final swarm before kind of the enemies start really giving us issues. So we'll save that magnet, since once we do kill the chunkums, or not the chunkums, the Chad barks, the final bosses, it automatically does a magnet that pulls in. So for this XP here, you can pretty much focus on eliminating as many enemies as possible. Around 40 to 50 seconds, since the bigger enemies start spawning, I would grab that to start hugging the portal. Grab as many level ups as you can to last as long as possible before using any sort of magnets. Alright, so 50-second timer. We'll increase the size of the Dexecutioner there. Damage is good, but with the Joe's dagger, it just pretty much scales so much. So we're at 7.3 times damage. We could increase it quite a bit more. I think it's 2,000% per level cap. So here I'm just standing in this corner because it helps collect XP a little bit easier. So we'll do the level up upgrades there. Having even a little bit of lag here. Okay, it was a little difficult. I was kind of getting worried that we wouldn't be able to make it back to that portal. Just watching the Aegis here, seeing if I'm getting kind of pushed around too much. Just trying to increase the effectiveness of the blood, what's called, the magic weapon. Oh man, I'm blanking here. The blood magic, there we go. That's the word I'm looking for. So we're trying to utilize the blood magic as much as possible to increase our total health. So 369 right now, 370. And it's just going to keep going up with as many enemies that we're able to actually eliminate with it. So Aegis, like I said, I typically don't focus on. It's kind of like a skip for me. Projectile count for it is good, but typically if it's green, I just go with the skip with the Aegis. But like I said, for anytime you do the runs, you might not actually have the craziest item luck, so you can potentially just utilize like even taking any sort of green tomes, additional projectile speed, quantity. Anytime you get those, it's still very good. Even luck, just increased luck over the run will increase your item. There's like receivables, or things that you receive. Duration for this run specifically is not necessary at all. So we increased our movement speed and shield here. Shield in anticipation for this final boss fight. We got 376 health total. You want at least, I'd say, at least 350 with a minimum 15 shield, health regen. You want increased as well. HP regen, we'll go with that there since it's blue as well. Evasion is good, but cursed will just passively increase or passively do damage, which is also nice. So for the final boss, with the health regen, the way that works is every it works per 60 seconds. So if you get, say, 60 total HP regen from 2 or 3 shrines, you're gonna get 1 health per second increase. So you wanna increase HP regen at least to minimum, like say 2 health per second. So here we're just microwaving pretty much every single key we see. Our chests are only 309 and we got around 14, almost 15k saved up, so we just grabbed every single key we could get there. Or 9 keys. Getting 10 keys also will not give you 100% free chests. That's not how it works. Third slurp glove, so an additional lifesteal. It'd be great to get a cleaver soon. Another slutty cannon, so even more chance to spawn missiles. Nice, we got a scarf, so anytime we're jumping, 33% increased damage. Really good with this build, especially since we got the feather and additional jumps. Another beacon, super useless since there's no more stages after. See, oh, we got the sucky magnets. That's actually amazing. So we pretty much only need 1 sucky magnet, so if we get another one of those, we'll pretty much banish to increase our chances at getting other gold items. So with this build, particularly we want the revive item. I think it's like Zolwando or something it's called. So don't banish those, don't banish Joe's dagger, don't banish the lamps, which give you 1 proc on hit. Don't banish the cleavers either, particularly with the life drain, lifesteal, whatever it's called. Super beneficial. Chunkums here can do quite a bit of damage, but we are utilizing the Aegis, so it will help you pretty much avoid everything from them. But if you don't, I mean, with this strategy you will have Aegis, but in future rounds, if you're not utilizing Aegis, the Chunkum on this stage particularly will sprint a lot faster. And here, since we're utilizing Joe's dagger, we want as many eliminations as possible. So I'm staying close to the ground and getting as many enemies for the eliminations with the Dexecutioner as we can. Nice, we got another key, so we're actually at 10 total keys. And when we open the chests, you'll definitely be able to see that it's not 100% free. Although, I mean, it does say 10% chance to get chests for free. But I think it's whatever your current chance is times 1.1 or something, and it never fully reaches 100% free chests. So there, we have the gloves already, and since we're about to be opening a lot of chests, we might as well increase our damage by a little bit. But since we do have the Joe's dagger, it's not really necessary to take additional damage increases. Now just focus on your build in other ways: projectile counts, cooldowns, jumps, jump heights, XP gains, just the additional things, shields. Particularly by this point, you want to start preparing for the final boss fight. Just make it as easy as you can on yourself. Increased damage always helps. But HP regen, shields, movement speeds. Movement speeds is really nice, especially with this character. with the movement speed. Sometimes you have these kind of projectiles that'll hurt you, and if you don't have the item, that whenever you get hit by something, luck is still also really good since we're just starting to open the chests. But particularly those projectiles that shoot from the boss, it's a lot easier to avoid them with increased movement speed. Sometimes you're out of jump, so you can't jump. We got the golden ring. It's actually really good. That if you don't know about the golden ring, that increases the amount of gold that you receive. So now we're actually able to get even more gold, which will result in us grabbing as many chests as we can. So while we eliminate these enemies, we'll try to grab chests around the map. There's different things that we can grab. We probably will not likely be able to grab any sort of shrines, so our damage goes up at least a little bit. We're at 14.1% damage, or 14.1 times the amount of default damage. Okay, so we have, I think, enough jumps. 4 jumps is plenty. Blood magic is good to increase. We want to start increasing our blood magic levels, because that's the main weapon that we'll have during the fight. So damage size particularly won't really help with the final boss fight, but it'll help with the final swarm. So projectile speed isn't too necessary. Power up drop chance won't help with the final boss fight, so we go with the HP regen, just to pretty much guarantee that we'll be able to finish the boss fight. So the shrine increase there is not too good, because obviously we're at the last stage and we've gotten a bunch of the shrines already. So we'll just focus on the luck, since we're gonna have to be opening the chests. Max HP is okay, but we do have the blood magic, which just increases our HP for free. So you can see our chest costs 1300 right now, 1346. Specifically, next time we grab a chest, the sucking magnet is really helping level up. Okay, that was easy. Yeah, so this chest is free, but since we have 11 keys now, even at 11 keys, each key is supposed to increase your getting the chest for free by 10%, but 1346 for this chest. Still 1346, that one was free. This chest was free as well. I guess 11 is really nice. This chest was free. So yeah, 11 keys you do want to get, but I will prove it to you that they still do go up in price. Once I grab a couple more chests, I'm sure one of those will actually cost something. Crit damage is nice there. Okay, we'll eliminate these enemies as much as we can. Lifesteal is good, even if we don't have the bloody cleaver to last the final swarm much more. So you can see the price of the chest went up there, 1753 instead of 1400. It went up again to 2100. So you can see even with 11 keys, they do still keep going up. But since we do have the gold ring and a few increased gold drop chances, we should be able to get quite a few more chests. Okay, so now we pretty much go with increased damage. Increased lifesteal is okay. Doesn't really help us too much until we actually encounter the final swarm, which once they do knock down the Aegis, we'll be able to potentially out heal them if we do have enough lifesteal. Cooldown is also really good for regaining your Aegis back if you're getting hit by the final swarms, maximizing your total kill count. I mean, from the enemies. The cooldown, once you do get enough kind of distance from them, will allow you to build back your Aegis, which will allow you to build or regain health more with lifesteal. And the more you're actually able to increase the size and the damage from the blood magic, the more health you're going to be able to get. Spicy meatball is really good for the final swarm. I'm really hoping for nice, another Joe's dagger. That's actually insane. We got 3 Joe's daggers now, so we're gonna have a crazy amount of total damage increases. We really need to maximize that on this level, so we'll try to stay here with the final swarm as much as we can. But particularly I'm looking for the bloody cleaver, since we don't have any of those. That really would help this build. This build particularly focuses. Grandma Secret Tonic is also really good. That'll cause crit damage, crit chances to explode at 50%, I believe. Another scarf, so even additional damage for being in there, which is really nice for utilizing the blood magic. But we do want to start doing more with the Dexecutioner, so I'm pretty much kind of just grabbing as many chests as I can at this point. There's really not too many around the map. I wasn't expecting on getting the gold ring at this point in time, and having 11 keys is really good. Still 3,500 just for the chest, so grab as many chests as possible. Those wrenches aren't good. We could start banishing potential greens, but I do want to save those for the golds, just in case we start getting something from the golds that will allow us to get potentially the cleaver. Another gold spicy meatball there. That'll just help us survive the final swarm, but particularly we could have banished that, since we already have one of those. Could have banished that, and then the next couple of chests that we potentially get will give us a higher increased chance of getting that bloody cleaver that we're really looking for. A revive would also be nice with that Zilwando, I think it's what it's called. So around 50 seconds, I'm more than confident that we'll be able to survive, and we actually have a whole nother shrine here. Another slutty cannon, I believe that's 3 now, so 60% chance to spawn a missile. Red projectile count increase, or shield and HP regen is good for the final boss fight, but we'll go with the regen. Regen is super helpful. Around a minute, I'd probably be a little bit more worried, but I think a minute 20 would probably be the area where you might get sent around the map. Another gold ice cube is nice. We don't have one of those, so we'll take it. But it isn't a bloody cleaver or a revive, but it will help us kind of traverse the map. The chest 2 costs around 4k now. A little bit worried because I'm getting bounced around here. I want to kind of ensure that we're able to go around the map and or to make it to the boss portal. I don't want to get sent flying all around the place by these enemies, but the longer we stay here, the more we're able to increase our max damage with the 3 bloody cleavers that we have. I believe it's 200x per stage per bloody cleaver. And we're at 23x total damage, so it would be great to kind of increase our the size of the Dexecutioner so that we can utilize the bloody cleaver a little bit more. But I am particularly gonna stand here by the final portal, final boss portal that'll teleport you to stay at the final boss stage until our damage pretty much increases a little bit. So we're at 24x damage right now, so we'll increase the size of this Dexecutioner. 24.1x damage, another Dexecutioner upgrade, and 24.3x damage. So we pretty much are increasing our damage super quickly with every single execution that we're able to do. 24.7x damage, so I'm just increasing this a little bit more before we try to go get some more chests. We're at 17k. gold, and each chest still costs 4k. Since we do have the gold ring, our gold is building really fast. Getting quite a few level ups here. Okay, I'm sure you know this by now, but there's no like boss fights here in this final swarm, so as soon as you activate the boss portal, it'll teleport you to a different area. So you want to stay here as long as possible to maximize the blood magic HP gains and the damage increases from the Dexecutioner executions that combine with the Joe's dagger. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk around this map. We got another chest drop here. Grab that. Crystal, nothing too amazing. I'm looking for golds. Aegis upgrades aren't too great, so we're just gonna keep doing as much blood magic and as much blood magic upgrades in general, and Dexecutioner size increases for the increased damage. So we're at 28.1x increased damage now. Okay, we are getting sent around a little bit. Will allow us to grab this chest. That was kind of a perfect launch there. Thunder mitts are not good. I'm assuming the chests, whenever you do pick those up, they get decided on the spot. But the NPCs actually get decided at the start of the level. Now the reason I'm determining this is because I have seen items get banished. So say you get something from a chest and you banish it, it'll pop up in the shops still. So say you go to a shop that you haven't seen, even if you have seen the shop. So say you haven't opened a shop before in the round, and you get a chest and you want to banish, say like the thunder wand or something, and you don't want to get that anymore because for whatever reason it's, well, I guess that's not an item that you could particularly get from a chest. So let's say you want to banish the mirror, you don't want any more mirrors, right? So you banish the mirror from a chest, and then you approach a guy that sells stuff in the map, and you open the store and you might see a mirror inside of there. Now that's because it's not determined specifically on the exact moment that you open the store. It's determined, or the items inside the shops are determined at the start of the round. So increasing your luck throughout the round and waiting to open those stores will not benefit you in any sort of way. 30k gold, still 4k for the chest, but I'm kind of I want to ensure that I'm able to stay for the boss fight. Would be nice to pretty much go around the map and grab every single chest. Okay, so we go with the quantity increase there. Got another chest here. Here one. We got a mirror. That's the mirror that I was actually talking about in that analogy. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit over the cold here. My voice is almost fully back, but okay, we are getting sent around like I assumed. Being airborne isn't too bad since we do get the increased damage, but at this point, the amount that they're sending us around, we might as well just start this final boss fight. So with the blood magic and additional health increases, our damage is also 35.8% and 35.8x. With that blood magic, we were able to build up to 671 health. And you can see here how much damage we did. So that first phase was up almost instantly. So he does heal during these phases, and this is, since we're not able to do damage to him right here, none of the lifesteal abilities work. This is why you have to build up HP regen, and shields are really nice. But the Aegis particularly, with these orbs that hit you, the red ones are particularly the most nasty. So in that first stage you only see the blue orbs, but now in the second stage you can see these red orbs. So they do hit through the Aegis, and even though we do have the Aegis here for stage 2, if we do see those red orbs spawn the red projectiles, it could be very lethal if you don't have enough health or HP regen or shields built up particularly. So blue ones I'm not too worried about. You can pretty much outpace them by just walking on the ground. Same with kind of AoE damage. You could see they only do, like, the blue ones only do a single hit. With the red ones they do kind of life drain, lifesteal I think, for the boss, which can be quite annoying. So between the different phases you want to do as much lifesteal, gain your shields back. So you can see how much damage we're actually doing to this boss, and how quickly the stages are. So see, we're able to defeat this boss in around a minute, depending on how quickly we're able to get to the different shrines, and if we do get sent out of the shrine areas by the different AoE attacks. But here it's very beneficial to have multiple jumps, especially since we do have 2 of the scars, which increase our damage by 33% whenever we're airborne. We could pretty much stay in the air for a really long time. So you can see that damage is going crazy, especially when we get into Dexecutioner range. So there we go, we completed the stage here. Now we're going to try to survive as long as possible. 30.1k kills, 31k kills, our eliminations total at the start of the final swarm in stage 3. Or the stage, I guess this would be stage 3 final boss swarm. In that other previous stage we also had a final swarm. And now we just pretty much try to stay alive as long as possible. Since we do have the sucking magnet, we don't have to do too much movement. But I'm trying to get a kind of in range here with the Dexecutioner to try to build up our damage amount as much as we can. But it's really, right now at this point, blood magic is doing most of the work, so we're not even getting into Dexecutioner range. Okay, I would pretty much choose the upgrades that are highest rarity, other than the Aegis. Aegis typically I'll leave off, but if there is like a red Aegis I've upgraded and everything's green, then might as well grab that. Aegis quantity is also nice. You can see we're at about the 300% crit chance, or not crit chance, total attack speed. And by having 300%, we're pretty much able to use projectiles continuously with the Dexecutioner, so it just doesn't stop. There is kind of like a little minute moment where it does have a little bit of a break, but once we increase our quantity and a couple more upgrades to the cooldown tone, we'll definitely have continuous hits with that Dexecutioner. So now the Dexecutioner is actually hitting enemies, so we are getting damage increases finally. And going airborne, I guess, isn't a bad idea either, since we do have the scarf and increased damage. Did grab a chest here. We get a chest here. Max HP. I guess max HP isn't too terrible for the final swarm, because eventually they get to the point where they're able to one-hit you. But if we do get the chunk plates, that would be super nice for outlasting the swarm with lifesteal. The more chunk plates we're able to get. And I guess the rings that increase here total health that you're able to heal above max. I believe it's like the ring that does 20% above total health if you get some of those. With the lifesteal combined with cooldown and quantity tone specifically for the Aegis. And I guess for additional lifesteal, because the more projectiles and times you shoot them per second at the enemies, the more lifesteal you gain. That'll make you last as long as like pretty much possible within the final swarm. See, it's still pretty much a one hit. So lifesteal would be really good to start focusing on fairly soon. Likely around that 5.5 minute mark, since in 5 minutes in that last swarm, or last stage, we were starting to get pushed around quite a bit. The lifesteal would be really beneficial, but and since we do have the blood magic, it's continuously building up the total amount of health that we have. We're at about 40 times. We're at exactly 40 times damage increase as well. That's 41.2 now, so you can see it's going up fairly quickly, and we do want it to continue scaling. So the larger the size that we get our Dexecutioner, the more we're going to be able to kind of utilize the Dexecutioner to increase our damage with the 3 Joe's Daggers that we have. Now 3 Joe's Daggers is extremely lucky, especially with this build. That's why you kind of need the Dexecutioner. It's whenever you get the Joe's Dagger, it just kind of makes the damage increase by so much. It's really kind of insanely OP, and was the strategy, the main strategy before the patch. It pretty much made your damage scale infinitely, and you could last up to that hour. But since that patch, I think the maximum you can last is 12 minutes in the final swarm, and then it starts spawning these ghosts that are practically invulnerable. You can't kill them. So around 6 minute mark, we should start seeing new ghosts spawn as well, which is the purple ghosts. Those purple ghosts are actually a little bit more difficult to eliminate. And at the 12 minute mark, you're pretty much going to have that run. And so if you're able to run, or if you're going for total amount of kills or eliminations, you particularly want to be able to last the different stages up until the 12 minute mark, and then you teleport to the next stage. 12 minute final swarm mark, so if you're able to get somehow enough damage and survivability to survive say swarm 2, you wait until the 12 minute mark, then you teleport to stage 3, then you last the final swarm for 12 minutes in stage 3, and then you fight the final boss, and then you stay here for 12 minutes. Theoretically, that is how the leaderboards would be achieved somehow, if you're even able to do tier 1 stage and last at the 12 minutes, which would be super crazy strategy. That's likely how the leaderboards, #1 leaderboard spot would be achieved. In the next few updates, I believe the devs are adding per character leaderboards, so every single character will have its own leaderboard, which will be super cool. I'm actually quite excited for that patch update. So we're at 46.8 X damage. We don't have the anvil either, which isn't particularly ideal. We have the anvil, chunk plate, a reviver 2, and a couple bloody cleavers. That would be the most OP run, but the odds of that happening are very slim. You really need good combinations of RNG. So if you got the bloody cleaver, a couple of Joe's daggers, what was I saying? The bloody cleaver, a couple of Joe's daggers, even a chunk plate with a bunch of level up upgrades, then you'd likely be able to survive stage 3 pretty much up to 12 minutes, depending on how soon you were able to get the Joe's dagger to increase your damage. But you can see here we're actually getting sent around, and now it's the purple ghost here at 6 minutes. But getting sent around typically isn't too bad, because if you're able to do enough damage, the enemies will give you a chance to rebuild back your Aegis. So at this point, if you do have feather and enough jumps, as long as you don't get squeezed into a corner, it's actually not too bad to do this strategy, because that's about, I'd say maybe like 7 minutes, they're gonna be able to one tap us with about, I'm assuming 800 damage, but since we do have the Aegis, what we're able to do is kind of push away from them as long as we have enough quantity. So increase your quantity as much as possible. We're at 52 quantity. We also got quantity from a bunch of shrines, but you don't want to get trapped. If you don't have over health, over shields, life drain, just pretty much utilize the Aegis as much as you can. So eventually you're gonna get cornered like this, but hope that you get sent pretty much back into the respawn area. So cooldown is also really nice for rebuilding the Aegis super quickly, especially when you're getting sent away. But the other strategy here at this point for me particularly is just to kind of let them send you across the map to utilize the Aegis. See, we're at 51, almost 52k kills. Would be cool to get to 100k, but I don't think it's gonna be possible since we don't have the over shields or over health. I mean, additional healing capacities on this character. Getting cornered up in the top here also isn't too good. They can come surround you super fast, which is not ideal. Would be great to also get over 1,000 health to blood magic, but it's really not working too well. So you can see there, that's the end of our run. So yeah, this was the Vlad video. Let's see how many total kills we were actually able to achieve and how much damage we actually caused per weapon. So 33k in the world right now. It would have been possible to do a little bit better, but we didn't have any RNG with the cleaver. So 52.4k kills, 205 total levels. We could have got a lot more levels, I think, but we didn't have the anvil either, so that wasn't particularly the best run. But 1.3 bill damage with the 2 spicy meatballs that we had, and Grandma's Secret Tonic 100 mil damage. Dexecutioner was next at 734 mil damage. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. If you enjoyed this Vlad content and you have any other strategies or anything else in mind, any sort of guides like quests or anything that you'd like for me to cover on this channel, just leave in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more Megabonk content, drop a like as well. We'll have some new videos on Megabonk coming out soon as well, so keep an eye out for those, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see those more frequently. Also, if there's any other games that you want to see on this channel as well, I'm very open to kind of playing other games. I do have a different game that I played on this channel uploaded as well, but I figured not necessarily what the community wants, so I didn't send it to everybody's inbox, and it's not really getting too many views. So if that's something that you're interested in, that is on the channel as well. It was the upload before this. So anyway, thank you for watching and have a good day. Bye.